I lied. It's gonna be like 15 or something. I gotta put this baby on. I paid good money for it. I'm gonna get good use out of it. I've realized my channel is very media appreciation oriented, and I don't have a problem with that. I love movies, TV shows, podcasts, theater, plays, musicals. I love internet stuff. I love theme parks. I love going to places, experiencing life, enjoying art and each other and conversation and all that stuff. And wow, 2023 was packed with that. I'm supposed to say that every year. I'm going to be talking about movies, TV shows, short films, documentaries, comedy specials. I think I'm forgetting stuff. You'll see the time codes down below, but let's just get right into it. Let's start off with the movies. I'm going to be mentioning and shouting out all the movies that I loved watching in 2023. Here are some honorable mentions before we get into my top 10, 15, whatever number it was. Red, White, and Royal Blue is an excellent time to watch with friends. Do it. Five Nights at Freddy's, I wish it was more about the animatronics than the ghost kids, to be honest. Like, I didn't play the first game because I thought that the ghost kid aspect was cool. But I'm glad it's getting more movies, and I hope in the sequel we get more animatronic stuff. And maybe more mystery, too. That might spice it up. Fast X, The Naughty Nine. Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie. I wish this felt less like an episode and more like a Mr. Monk movie. I still had fun with it. The Marvels. Probably the bare minimum I'll accept from Marvel, which is weird to say. But that end credit scene, not the first one, I think, the second one. I'll talk about it later. Totally Killer, The Pope's Exorcist. Fool's Paradise, Charlie Day, please make more movies. Renfield, Knock at the Cabin. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Christmas Cabin Fever. I have the book over there. This one, surprisingly really fun. I think the best way that the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies can do moving forward is by adapting things that haven't already been adapted, so my brain doesn't keep comparing them to the original live action ones. Saw X, I can't wait for more of these. Megan, Priscilla, Trolls World Tour. No. Trolls Band Together. The Flash. Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. Wonka. Killers of the Flower Moon. Wasn't my favorite, but that's just because I don't think I'm as addicted to Martin Scorsese as other people are. And I think that's just because I'm slow. Anyways. Origin. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Champions. Great comedy. I'd totally recommend that one. I think either the first or second highest grossing movie of the year, Super Mario Brothers movie. Sisu. Transformers, Rise of the Beasts. Blue Beetle. Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. This movie was slept on. I thought it was pretty good. A Haunting in Venice. Scream 6. The Little Mermaid. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. You Hurt My Feelings. Elemental. I'm going to say the second most underrated movie of 2023, and I think it's because the lore and the heavy story building and all that stuff around it is kind of intimidating, but just go see this. Just see this. It's very, very good, very fun, great movie with friends. I hope they make more. Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. I want to see this. I want to see more of this. Please give me more of this. Beau is Afraid. Creed 3. Dream Scenario. Thanksgiving. I'm so happy certain movies are getting sequels. This one especially. Past Lives. The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. John Wick, Chapter 4. All of Us Strangers. Yeah, I lied. It's 16. Now we're at the top 16. We're going to do the top 16. I'll kind of brush over them, though. I don't want to be too wordy with it. I'm just going to recommend them. I recommend every movie that I've mentioned thus far. But these 16 are what I think are the creme de la creme of 2023, in my opinion. Remember that. It's just my opinion. I love everything that I've mentioned. Anyways, let's kick it off with number 16, Air. It's so good. It's so good. As a wrestling fan, I knew this should have been turned into a movie a long time ago. As a cinephile, I knew this should have been turned into a movie a long time ago. I'm so happy it's finally been made, and I'm so happy it's successful. The Iron Claw, a movie based on the Von Erich tragedy. Whoa. Go watch it. It's still in theaters by the time I'll release this, I think. Here's the most underrated movie of 2023. They cloned Tyrone. Even the last scene. I had one question in my head. I was like, well, who? And then the last scene happened. Oh, I'm gushing about it a little too much. Point is, they cloned Tyrone. Oh, I'm not a virgin anymore. Because I saw my first Wes Anderson movie, Asteroid City. I know, wild one to start off with, but it's a wild movie. It's a lovely time. Some people say that it's like, oh, it's not his greatest, he's just doing his thing. That's okay. I love what he made. I thought it was fantastic. And the message behind the movie is just makes my heart pump. A franchise that seems to get better with every entry. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Part 2 can't come fast enough. But what I really want to shout out about this movie, other than what everybody has said, the stunts, the cinematography, the acting, the action, what I really appreciate is that you can simply watch this by itself. You can sit down and enjoy it as a great Mission Impossible movie. And I think, nay, I know, this will complement Mission Impossible Part 2, Dead Reckoning Part 2, blah, blah, blah. I know it would complement it and add to it so perfectly. I can't wait to see more. And one of the greatest MCU additions post-Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. A perfect way to end that trilogy, these characters' stories, some of them. I can't wait to see what James Gunn does in the DCU, because I don't feel like it's going to get very comic book like lore heavy and confusing and all that stuff. I trust that the brilliant writer and director that James Gunn is will make the perfect DC universe for fans. I'm so excited. Okay, we've officially arrived at the top 10. And I've got to change my camera battery. Dang it. Okay, let's get started. Number 10, Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman's Theater Camp.
You think this is fun and games? It's not fun. It's art.
Minor housekeeping issue. Whoever stole my CBD gummies, please return them. I'm pretty sure I know who it was.
The funniest comedy I've seen in a long time. I mean, I'm a kind of a theater kid, so it's sort of relatable. Cast is incredible. It is beautifully shot. It looks so good. I've never laughed harder in a movie. I really think this was such a great movie, especially for the whole family. I so recommend it. It came out right after two gigantic movies this year, so it kind of got overlooked, unfortunately. But I believe it's on Hulu, so if you have Hulu, go see it. It's so great. And the music in it is so good. Number 9, Emma Seligman's Bottoms.
I want that trophy.
You created a fight club to get some coochie. You don't even know how to work that thing. I know you ain't tickling the pearl.
I just don't know if you're supposed to be talking to us like that, just like as a teacher.
I'm so happy to have a movie that finally represents me. That's a joke. That's a joke. Please, God, that's a joke. It's colorful. It's beautiful. It's fun. It's super hilarious. It's the high school, teen, college comedy of back in the 90s and 80s, you know? Number 8, Jack Houston's Day of the Fight. If I were an influencer, you know I would have never mentioned this movie because it's gotten no popularity, no traction. I've not seen it released anywhere, but Day of the Fight is absolutely incredible. It's a beautiful boxing story. I honestly just watched it because I saw Ron Perlman on the one poster that I found. But it's so brilliantly written. It's so beautiful to watch. I love seeing everything unfold. And Joey can sing. Number 7, Alexander Payne's The Holdovers.
You're gonna get me fired. This is your Rubicon. Do not cross the Rubicon.
The Holdovers.
Paul Giamatti is incredible. Someone finally gave Divine Joy Randolph a leading spotlight in a big movie, and she knocks it out of the park here. Newcomer Dominic Sessa, I believe is how you pronounce his name, also fantastic, very talented person. I loved the movie. I thought the jokes were fun. It's hilarious. It's shot so classically. I thought it was so easy to fall in love with, and it's going to be a movie that I'll watch around every winter season. Not specifically Christmas, but just any winter season. Number 6, Emerald Fennell's Saltburn.
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Never to Be Forgotten is such a good way to explain this movie because I have never watched something more surprising, shocking, in your face, exciting, thrilling. The visuals alone make this piece of art so incredible to watch, but the story on top of it is so... I refuse to say more, because you should see this if you are not watching it with your parents. I'm going to be the one friend that reminds you, don't watch Saltburn with your parents. Zach's lesson of the day. Number 5, Jeff Rowe's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
My son, Michelangelo, you have heart. Donatello, you have wisdom. Raphael, you have bravery. And Leonardo, honor.
Enough talk! I dream about fighting every night!
You've got a rage problem, right?
It's not a problem!
As a TMNT fan, I loved this. The movie's colorful, it's exciting to watch, it's so creative and unique, I can't not enjoy it. The story's fun, the voice cast is so good, they're so smart with it. The action was also incredible. Jackie Chan had a Jackie Chan fight scene in an animated movie. Brilliant. Also, it was hilarious. Need I say more? Yes, go watch this. Number 4, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Boom. That's the review. A 3-hour movie feels so fast when given to Cillian Murphy and Christopher Nolan, because they write something so beautiful and exciting, and you just need to watch every scene. It's so good. And there's no CGI in it. I can't fathom that. Christopher Nolan tells a scary story within this dramatic, thrilling masterpiece. Should I say that I'm surprised that Christopher Nolan can make a good movie? No. But I am very happy that this movie exists. Thank you, Robert Pattinson, for giving Christopher Nolan this book on the set of Tenet. I believe that's a fun fact. Number 3, Greta Gerwig's Barbie.
Ideas live forever.
I did Barbenheimer. I saw both. That was a fun day. I think this was one of the biggest movies of the year, so if you haven't seen it, you terrible person. A beautiful story about Barbie in the real world. And it's so uniquely done. It's such an original idea. Greta Gerwig smashes it. Number 2, Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things.
Oh.
A weird, wacky, unusual, unique adventure with brilliant acting, brilliant visuals, and a stunning story. I love movies that are like life, you know? And this movie, I think, tells such a creative spin on that. Also, I love Frankenstein, and I know this movie takes a lot of inspirations from there. So and that story itself tells a lot about life too. So kind of adapting that to today's standards is brilliant. And my number one, Joaquin Dos Santos, Justin K. Thompson, and Kemp Powers' Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
We are supposed to be the good guys.
We are.
I've been a huge fan of Spider-Man for years, and these movies are such a creative, beautiful spin on animated movies and on the character that I think will define pop culture forever. A great cliffhanger, a brilliant story, beautiful messages, and the visuals. Oh my god. If the animators weren't crunched, I would say this is one of the best animated movies of all time. I cannot wait for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Whatever year that's coming out can't come soon enough. Otherwise saying I'm very excited for the next one. But this movie, so good. I loved it. Spider-Man has never been more incredible. Amazing. Sorry, I can't believe I said incredible. And that's my list. Those are all the movies I wanted to give a shout out to in 2023. There's definitely movies that I missed. Like, I haven't seen Boys in the Boat or Aquaman 2 yet, even though I want to. So that was all the movies that we watched. Now let's move on to something that is not in order of ranking or anything like that. It's just in release schedule. These are the TV shows that I loved and watched in 2023. Abbott Elementary Season 2. Velma Season 1. Do you remember this came out? Part of me thinks that it would have been more effective if it was completely original, or maybe parody, I think. I don't know. Quite a divisive show. The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 3 still breaks and mends my heart and makes me believe in love. Poker Face Season 1. It's a Rian Johnson mystery thing. Of course I'm gonna adore it. South Park Season 26. You Season 4. Mwah. I can't wait for the final season. It was in Paris for a little bit. That's just why I feel like I'm gonna rewatch this while I'm editing and hate that accent. Perry Mason Season 2. Renew it, cowards. Ted Lasso Season 3. A brilliant ending. Barry Season 4. I Think You Should Leave Season 3. An ever more hilarious television show on Netflix, variety show. I meant to say variety show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia Season 16. Black Mirror Season 6. I only saw Macy Day and Joan is Awful. I haven't seen the other 3. I am probably going to see them though. Anyways, okay. This is weird. As somebody that has been a huge Marvel Cinematic Universe fan since I saw it in theaters with Iron Man, and ever since Endgame ended, every other project or every other project or whatever has felt like they're doing, let's just do this because it's quantity over quality. We need to make Disney Plus look legit, and we need to make Marvel bigger and better. It doesn't feel like there's passion in filmmaking and creativity anymore. It doesn't feel like a director is being hired because they're good at making war dramas and they can effectively create Captain America, or a director who is a brilliant director in general, but also a thespian with Shakespeare can make Thor. Because think about it, the smash hits are when Marvel says, director who's creative, you take the reins. Taika Waititi redefined Thor. James Gunn created a household name being the Guardians of the Galaxy. When directors and creatives and artists are given free rein to create these beautiful comic book characters into cinematic icons, you're cooking with fire there. But when you make something as confusing and as disappointing as Secret Invasion, again, I don't want to say it's bad. It could be your favorite MCU show. But as an MCU fan who's been in love with the franchise for 15 years, since I was 7 or 8 or whatever age, I have to say I'm really sad with where the franchise is right now. I'm disappointed. 2023, I think, was an eye-opening year for Marvel. Oh, we can't just depend on the Marvel name to get us through. Part of me doesn't like to be super overly critical, or like, at least online, because online film criticism can get a little bit, this thing sucks and you shouldn't see it. And I don't like that side of film criticism. I like the film criticism of, I don't like this, but you can like this, you know? But Secret Invasion, that was so disappointing. And not that I was expecting a lot from it. That's the problem with Marvel. It doesn't feel like it's a creative force behind these things anymore. It feels like a AI-generated, let's see what happens, you know? And this show did have AI-generated stuff, which was insane. At the end of the day, Secret Invasion is my least favorite Marvel thing that has been put out in a long time. I've never watched a show that felt more bland. I hate saying that. I really do. I guess I'll wrap this up with saying, I want Marvel to feel like they're passionate about the story they're telling. I haven't felt that this year. The times that I've felt that are Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Loki Season 2. In stark contrast to Secret Invasion. Brilliant show. And this is what I'm talking about too. A creative, unique, sci-fi, Doctor Who, Loki's going on an adventure show. It's so much fun. And the way that it wraps up is so brilliant. It ends the character and the show in a way that is so satisfying and so exciting. I really loved it. Anyways, let's get this Marvel crap out of here. And let's bring in The Bear Season 2. incredible. My Adventures with Superman Season 1. Heels Season 2. Only Murders in the Building Season 3. Personally, my favorite season. Gen V Season 1. Our Flag Means Death Season 2. Goosebumps, the Disney Plus show, Season 1. And finally, Marvel's What If Season 2. So yeah, those are the TV shows I watched this year. Some video games I played. Very quick list. Resident Evil 4, the remaster version. I'm a huge fan of those Resident Evil games. Super Mario Wonder is the newest Super Mario game. Beautiful. I love it. I love that the main game mechanic is taking drugs. And I finally bought myself a PlayStation 5, Spider-Man 2. Comedy specials I've seen in 2023. John Mulaney's Baby J, Tom Segura's Sledgehammer, and Shane Gillis's Beautiful Dogs. What a romp, laugh, I lived and I laughed it and I loved it. Short films that I saw. Before Elemental, there was Carl's Date, which was a Up sequel short film. Along with losing my virginity to Asteroid City, I also lost it on Netflix with Wes Anderson's short film collection. He had The Swan, Poison, The Rat Catcher, and The Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar. These were incredible stories, and they were all based on Roald Dahl properties, which was fascinating. His writing paired with Wes Anderson's direction was a match made in heaven. Strange Way of Life was a movie I got to see in theaters, which was a really cool experience. I'm very happy to see that. And Pedro Pascal and Ethan Hawke, them as well as the direction and the just the look of the film made me wish it was a feature film. I want to see a feature western in that same style with these two as the lead. I hope something comes of it, but probably not, to be honest, because this is enough. But this was great. And then a beautiful Disney Plus short film, Once Upon a Studio. I'll admit, it did make my heart swoon. I loved seeing it. And finally, the documentaries. I saw 2 documentaries this year, both incredible. BS High on HBO Max will leave you seething. Just watch it. It is fascinating. And of course, still a Michael J. Fox documentary. So yeah, that's 2023. Ta-da! It's been a brilliant year for entertainment. I didn't even mention the fact that there was 2 major strikes this year. As a writer, I'm walking away feeling very confident and very secure. Thank you to the brilliant, strong people down on the picket lines picketing for fair, only fair rights in this industry, because we want to entertain. We're not looking for cash. We're looking for a livable wage and a way to entertain everyone. And that's what they were fighting for. And that's what they got. Thank you for making my future way better. And man, movie theaters and physical media have really been going through the ringer. I love physical media. I tipped something over. I love physical media. I love movie theaters. I love all forms of entertainment. And I'm excited for 2024. Thank you for watching my trip down memory lane for this year. If you want to watch more videos, click on the channel. You'll find more. It's kind of simple. But don't worry if you can't figure it out. We all have a hard day sometimes. Thank you for watching this video, and I truly mean it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.